Hello everybody, I'm Roxy and this is Chaotic Bibliophile. Yes, I have changed the name of the channel. I really did like recmebook&stuff / recmebs, but I feel like that name reflected what I thought the channel would be when I first created it and not what the channel has actually become. Plus, Chaotic Bibliophile is my username on Bookstagram, and it is the name of my soon-to-be announced review / written bookish content website. So I thought it would be a good idea to tie it all together, including the channel, with this concept that it fits. I'm just chaotic and a bibliophile, as advertised. So to celebrate, I thought I would do the BookTube Newbie Tag, which I never did when I first started this channel for reasons that I will explain with the first question. Now, if you've been following me for a couple of years, you know that in 2019 I made this video where I talked about doing written reviews on a website that is not up anymore. So, I mean, it's up, I just don't use it anymore. In any case, I was very overwhelmed at the time. I was going to go into a program that I wasn't very excited about. I have since changed that. Plus, I am Chilean and we were going through a terrible time of political upheaval. It just felt like a lot. So I just thought I can't really devote my time to editing, which is something that I used to really hate. I have since come to term with it, clearly, because immediately in 2020 I started uploading videos every single week, sometimes more than once. I've been very consistent about that. I am very proud of that. I decided to go on with the channel because I enjoy it and I enjoy the community aspect. I enjoy participating. I enjoy the discussions in the comments. I just love the whole vibe, and once I came to terms with editing, things didn't look so bad anymore. So yeah, here we are with a new name doing this tag. Please enjoy. Number 1, why did you start this channel? Well, I started it a long time ago, but at that time I actually had 2 channels, one in English and one in Spanish. I just couldn't decide. I started it because I was in a very dark mood. I was going through some personal stuff, but I was also transferring colleges because my dream college was such a disappointment, and then I transferred to my alma mater. During that time, I had a whole semester where I was only working as a teacher, but I wasn't a student, and I really missed the book discussion. And during that time, I discovered BookTube, fell in love, thought it was incredible, but I definitely didn't take it too seriously. I didn't upload regularly. I didn't know how to interact. I am not a very good internet interactor. That's something definitely that I have learned. It was just a bit of a mess, both of my channels were, but definitely the channel in Spanish had a lot more in it because it was closer to my daily life. Eventually, however, that changed and I decided to stick to the channel in English. Eventually, I might merge those worlds together again. I am thinking of having a Spanish language section within this channel. We'll see if that is something you would be interested in because you understand Spanish. Please do let me know. I would try to keep it as neutral as possible because I understand Chilean accent is very hard for people who aren't Chilean basically, and sometimes even if you are Chilean it's hard. So yeah. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I think I'm a very eclectic reader, and I think that is very weird. Even people who read very broadly, I think, are much more focused. I definitely know I have a taste. It's just that I am very curious and interested in many, many things. So I think if you like a lot of different things, you might like my channel, or if you are interested in sometimes more unfocused reading or chaotic reading, you will find a lot of fun. I also appreciate focused readers, but that's definitely not me. But I still get hyper focused. I get very excited about things. So last year I had my music period and my Russian literature period, and that and that has definitely carried over to this year. And I also think I'm a very candid person. I do edit my videos quite a bit because I want to make them more comprehensible, and sometimes I do go off into tangents that are way too long. Believe me, I do cut stuff. Much less so than before because people have told me they appreciate the more casual approach. I still cut stuff because my mind is very cluttered, but I still think the candid aspect comes across. I'm personable. I try to reply to every single comment. Not that I get that many, but I get really substantial ones, and I try to engage in the best way possible. Oh, and the other thing is that I am a literature and linguistics major. For a time, I did something called literary linguistics, which kind of merges the two, and I do hope to show more of that here in the channel. And I'm also super hyped about things. I am not a cool person at all. I get very excited. I also hate with burning passion. I think that is exciting to watch, and I hope you do too. Number 3, what are you most excited about this new channel? Well, this isn't a new channel, but I am excited for my newfound consistency, which is uploading a video, or at least a video every single week. Now, I don't know if that will remain the case once I start my master's, but there are some months to go before that. And then whatever amount of videos I set myself as a goal, I want to consistently keep up with that. And second is that I just want to bring a bit more of my academic background onto the channel, not necessarily onto my wrap-ups. I like that those are very candid and reflect my personal emotions, but I do want to make more content that is focused maybe on themes or strategies or narratives, since I really researched that as an undergrad. I don't know, I just want to bring a bit more academic energy into some of the videos. So please, if you're excited for that, leave a comment down below. Number 4, why do you love reading? Reading for me is everything. It might sound cheesy, but it is true. I read for so many different reasons. When I want to learn about something right after the Googling period, I just need to get a book on it and I need to read that. When I need escape, I go to books, but also when I need reality, when I need to find out about reality, I go to books. When I want that aesthetic experience of art and language, I go to books. So I am one of those really intense bookworms that are always carrying a book in their hands. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I don't remember too specifically because I grew up with books, but I remember I really liked this one book that my dad had about speed reading. I don't know why. Maybe because, I don't know if you've seen these books, but they have different exercises, and so the text is shaped in many different ways. So there are columns sometimes it jumps from page to page, and it also had some illustrations. I remember one specifically about a brain, and the brain had eyes and stuff. And I also really enjoyed fairy tale or short story anthologies for kids. I had a lot of those thanks to both my parents, but specifically my mom and my grandmother. I had one that was a short story for every single day, so 365 of them. Really loved that one. And I also had a Disney one, which was like a legit Disney book. It had illustrations with the styles of the movies. I remember it had Pinocchio, Lion King, 101 Dalmatians. So I was very excited for those. I basically read that book into disintegration. That's why I don't have it anymore. I remember distinctly reading the Torn in Half book because I could never find another copy, and I just loved it so much I kept reading it. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Hey guys, this is Roxy from the future. I just thought this would be a great time to acknowledge all the new subscribers and welcome you to this channel. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for joining. I hope you like it here. I hope you enjoy my videos. Please feel free to comment on old videos, perhaps not the 5-year-old videos, but you know, within the last year, or some late 2019 videos, free real estate. And I think this is the best question to address this, because you see, I filmed this video on Saturday, and then on Sunday, one of my all-time favorite booktubers, Olive from a book Olive, featured me in her Great Booktubers to Add to Your Feed video, which is what brought all these new subscribers to the channel. It was so unexpected. It's actually a bit funny. I added that video to my BookTube immediate watch list, which is a playlist. My actual watch list is a mess, and it was 3rd or 4th, but I noticed my subscriber count going up. The idea suggested itself, wait, is it possible? And I went and watched the video. And I was there. I was so excited. I didn't know Olive watched my videos. And the things she said were so nice. They were such kind words. I was very, very touched. As I said, no pull whatsoever. And as life will have it, this couldn't have come at a better moment. Not only because I had just finished recording this video and I am in the process of giving the channel a bit of a facelift, starting from the name change, but also because I have been looking for new, to me, booktubers to watch. It was a win-win all around. I'm in great company in that list. So of course I will link the video down below. Those of you who haven't come from there, you can go check it out. My BookTube watch list is now positively bursting. Love it. So I'm looking forward to checking out all these new booktubers. Again, thank you for being here and thanks to Olive for featuring me. Now back to the past for our regularly scheduled, kind of weird answer to this question. I would just want to chat about books, but maybe also some technical aspects, especially if they wear glasses. How do they do it? I discovered that if the lighting is decent coming from the window that is now sideways, I used to have a window in front of me, I can record without lighting, but more polished booktubers that use lighting equipment but also wear glasses. How? Number 7. What are some of the challenges that you think you will have to overcome with this new channel? Well, again, the consistency issue, technical issues. I actually upgraded my phone a couple of years ago now to be able to record on it. Now it's an old phone again and I might need to upgrade it soon-ish, but I don't want to. I hate upgrading tech stuff. Not bookish related, but true nonetheless. I don't know where I'll be living come September yet, so we'll see what I have to work with. I will definitely try to get myself an interesting, or at least, blank background, maybe a bookshelf. We'll see what the space allows for. Number 8, when did you start reading? I've been reading since I can't remember. I actually know for a fact because I've been told, but also I think I remember, though with childhood memories it's all a bit iffy, but I remember playing pretend reading. So I couldn't read just yet, but I remembered what my parents had told me about the books and I emulated that style, added a bit of my own flair to it. I was always holding books and reading even before I could read, and then I started reading and I never really stopped. Number 9. Where do you read? That is an interesting question because someone asked that in the comments quite recently. It's a whole thing, but basically I read everywhere. I was one of those kids who was reading under her desk. I don't get too dizzy on cars. Sometimes if it's too hot, I'll get dizzy, but it doesn't come from reading. So I can read in cars and transportation in general, so public transportation, always reading, going out to cafes to read, reading at my university library, reading in bed. I'm one of those people who reads in bed before going to sleep. Not because reading puts me to sleep necessarily, it's just a habit that my parents instilled in me. I don't think it's necessarily relaxing. I don't think it's necessarily even good for your REM cycle. I try to meditate after the reading because if not, I will probably not fall asleep. But I still like reading before bed. Now my reading has changed a lot since the whole pandemonium began. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I just used to move all around the city. My day was very hectic. So when I got home, I just wanted to go to bed and lie down with a book. But now, since lockdown measures and stuff, I've read a lot more on my couch, and especially in my apartment, we got a new couch that is very comfy, and now I've enjoyed reading sitting down more, which has helped me get to those larger, heavier books that were too heavy to carry around during my day, or they were too heavy to hold in my hands lying down in bed. Believe you me, as soon as I can go to cafes to read, I am going. That's I miss it so much. I don't mind reading outside, it doesn't have to be inside the cafe. If it's the terrace, that's fine with me. But checking my privilege, I do have a comfy place to read at home, so it's fine. Yeah, that's where I read, everywhere, basically. I could have just said that and moved on, but then I wouldn't be me. Then finally, number 10, what kind of books do you read? Woof, that is hard. I could summarize it as fiction, nonfiction, poetry, plays, and graphic novels. But to be a bit more specific, I will say I don't read a lot of genre fiction. I won't ever not read a book that I think will be good because of its genre, but I don't necessarily seek them out. I think that's a good caveat. I also don't keep up necessarily with new releases. I find out about them because I watch a lot of BookTube and I read a lot of reviews, and I do spend a fair share of time on Bookstagram, so I do find out about them, but I don't necessarily read them right away. I sometimes wait even years just to see if people still recommend it a couple of years down the line. I just prefer it that way. Again, I never say, no, I won't read this because it's new. I just don't prioritize it. And also, to be a bit helpful, I actually wrote down a list of things that interest me. Get ready. General fiction, which I guess means literary, but I don't like that label. World literature. Again, what does that even mean? All literature is world literature, and the concept of world literature only functions in opposition to Anglophone literature, and specifically US and UK literature. So I don't really love the concept, but I use it because I think it's still helpful. I'm particularly interested in Latin American literature, but more specifically Argentinian and Chilean literature. I also love Japanese literature. I have found a new love for Russian literature, and I might be getting into French and Italian and German literature, but that's a big might. I'm dabbling. I love short stories, and I swear I am preparing more short story content for you. I know I keep saying that, but I'm trying. I promise I'm planning things. I will bring them to you. Yes, please be patient and it will come. I also love poetry. I've incorporated the reading of poetry more into my daily life. I love reading plays. I love seeing plays too, of course. I'm a theater enthusiast all around, but I do think there is something so nice to just having the time to dissect the language and also imagine all the possibilities for delivery, all the choices available by yourself instead of having them portrayed by an actor, which I love. Again, different experiences, and I love both. I also love classics. I especially love modern classics. I consider that up to the 80s. After that, I like to use the phrase contemporary classic, which I totally think is a thing. In my mind, it's a book that is at least 10 years old, but has had staying power either in popular culture or collective consciousness, or has entered different school curricula. Yeah, my favorites are modern classics, especially the first half of the 20th century. I also do like experimental fiction. I don't read it as often as when I first started the channel, and I don't know how much of it I will read moving forward, just because I do want to focus a bit more on modern classics, but I do like it, I do enjoy it, and I do reach for it every once in a while. I also love campus novels. As an idea, I still haven't found many campus novels that I absolutely adore, but I'll keep looking. Then in terms of nonfiction, anything that's history, except military history, not a big fan of that, but all other history, cultural history in general, or cultural approach to anything, I'll buy that. I love microhistories. I especially appreciate histories on literature, art, music, theater, forgotten women, science and discovery. I'm certainly not a history buff, but I do appreciate a good history book every once in a while. I also love criticism, art, literature, music criticism. If it's more academic, I like it. If it's more general audiences, I still like it, as long as it's good, as long as it's mind expanding. Enjoy it a lot. I love travel writing and nature writing and food writing and music writing and essays. Very diverse stuff, but you can see in general I am a liberal arts kind of person. We don't have that concept here, but when I learned of it, I was like, yes, that's who I am. And yeah, I also love biographies, memoirs. Graphic nonfiction is a big one. In general, I adore anthologies. I take a long time to read them, that is true, but I do enjoy them supremely. So you'll see me hold them, and eventually you'll see me wrap them up. That was a long answer to a very straightforward question. The thing is that I just love books so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and comment what you think of my answers, or maybe answer some of the questions on your own, especially how would you describe your literary taste. I think that is very interesting. See you next time. So yeah,